Ever wondered if coyotes are just misunderstood party animals who got a bad rep in an old cartoon? Well, hang on to your hats, folks, because we're about to debunk some wild coyote myths. It's time we put on our detective hats and delve into the world of coyotes, a world that's often shrouded in mystery and misconceptions. For too long, these fascinating creatures have been the scapegoats of folklore, their true natures painted over with broad strokes of fear and misunderstanding. From being portrayed as cunning tricksters to voracious predators, coyotes have been on the receiving end of some pretty wild tales. But what's the real story? Are they the villains they're often made out to be? Or is there more to these creatures than meets the eye? So are you ready to have your mind blown by some coyote truths? Buckle up because it's going to be a wild ride. Myth number 1. Coyotes are only found in the desert. But folks, do you really think these smart creatures would limit their real estate options like that? Well, you're in for a surprise. The myth that coyotes are exclusive desert dwellers is as dry as the sands they're believed to inhabit. In reality, these adaptable animals have a knack for making themselves at home in a wide array of habitats. From the dense forests of the north to the concrete jungles of our cities, coyotes have proven to be quite the versatile vagabonds. They've got the smarts and the survival skills to make it in environments as diverse as mountain ranges, grasslands, and even your neighborhood park. So it's time we give coyotes the credit they deserve. They're not just desert dwellers, they're explorers, survivors, and some might even say, real estate moguls of the animal kingdom. So next time you think of a coyote, don't just picture a desert, they might just be your next-door neighbor. Myth number 2. Coyotes are loners. But hey, who said they don't like a good company? Now you might be picturing a coyote all alone in the wilderness, howling at the moon. But the reality is a bit more social than that. Coyotes are actually quite the social butterflies of the animal kingdom. They form complex social structures, which can include a mated pair, their offspring, and sometimes even unrelated coyotes. These groups, known as packs, work together to defend their territory and find food. In fact, coyotes have been known to form alliances with other species too. There are recorded instances of coyotes and badgers hunting together. Imagine that, a coyote and a badger, side by side, taking on the world. So next time you think of a coyote as a solitary creature, remember that they're more like us humans than you might think. They value their families, their friends, and even their unexpected allies. Don't be fooled, folks. Coyotes know that there's power in numbers. Myth number 3. Coyotes only come out at night. But wait, do they own a pair of night vision goggles or something? Yes, it's true that coyotes have been known to be more active during the night. But let's not pigeonhole these adaptable creatures into strict night owls. They don't punch a time clock when the sun sets, nor do they shut down their operations when dawn breaks. Coyotes are what we call crepuscular, which is a fancy way of saying they're most active during twilight hours, dawn and dusk. However, depending on where they live and what food is available, they're pretty flexible with their schedule. In urban areas, for instance, they might switch to more nocturnal behavior to avoid humans. But in other areas you might see them trotting around during the day, especially in the spring when they're feeding pups. So don't be surprised if you spot a coyote during your day hike. They're just out there living their best life. Well folks, we've busted some myths today, haven't we? Let's wrap this up with a quick recap, shall we? We've debunked the tall tale that coyotes are just desert dwellers. Surprise, surprise, they're globe-trotting canines, feeling just as home in cities as in the wild. Next, we've shattered the stereotype that coyotes are solitary creatures. In reality, they're family-oriented, hanging out in packs and teaching their pups the ropes. Let's not forget the mistaken belief that coyotes are strictly nocturnal. These adaptable critters are active whenever it suits them, be it day or night. We've seen how they're quite the flexible fellows, haven't we? It's important to remember these truths to better appreciate these misunderstood creatures. They're not just characters from cartoons or creatures of folklore. They're fascinating animals with their unique quirks and traits. And remember, the next time someone tells you a coyote myth, you've got the facts to set them straight. Stay curious, stay informed, and keep laughing.